The business models of the web as we know it are crumbling, and some might say they've already disintegrated. The legacy beasts, these big monolithic platforms that it's all built upon, are just lumbering on.
Dead man walking.
But what comes next? What comes after big tech? Are we caving into bigger big tech, to whoever holds the keys to AI, or do we take this opportunity to step into something rather different? A future not ruled by the platforms of the past, but one built upon a core set of open protocols and commonly owned infrastructure to support it all. Let me explain what this means, how it'll work, and why I think the value that it creates will be so exciting. But first, let's acknowledge what's dying. The ad-driven business models that powers today's internet is fundamentally broken, or rather, it's stacked up a set of misaligned incentives to the detriment of us all. When revenue comes from harvesting attention and personal data, you optimize for addiction, the shiny new,
Just dopamine, thrill.
attention jacking, not utility and usefulness and a human need. You get clickbait instead of quality content. You get engagement farming instead of meaningful interaction. Surveillance instead of service. We're so accustomed to it that we've forgotten what software was like before it. Do you remember when you bought an app, or maybe before we even called them apps, programs?
Nice software.
It just worked for you. There were no ads cluttering the interface. There were no algorithms designed to keep you scrolling, no dark patterns manipulating your behavior. No business, no people behind the scenes looking at what you're doing. The software succeeded when you succeeded. Well, that relationship is coming back, but better. And oh, it has the potential to be so much more. When software isn't funded by surveillance, and more to the point, when data harvesting becomes irrelevant, everything changes. The value is measured by utility, what it can actually do for people, and not how much attention it can extract, because it has to. Imagine social media optimized for helping you maintain relationships instead of maximizing your screen time.
Scrolling.
News apps designed to inform you efficiently rather than trap you in an outrage cycle. Creative tools that amplify your abilities instead of harvesting your creations for a clickbaiting sales funnel brain chemistry race to the bottom.
Pretty sure we're already there.
And I don't want this to seem like some nostalgia trip from some dude with grey hair. It's not. It's a glimpse of what becomes possible when we fix the underlying economics and incentives through a systematic rewiring of the way the digital world functions. And it's in our grasp. Most of us never experienced the internet without the surveillance economy. In the early days of the web, things worked differently. Small digital communities formed around shared interests.
Bulletin boards, websites.
There was a sense of exploration and ownership and genuine connection. I was fortunate enough to be part of probably the last generation of kids that got to experience the web like that. And don't we want that freedom for our kids again too? Because we can have that relationship back. But we keep all the benefits of our hyper-connected world, the global reach, the instant communication, the vast repository of human knowledge, but without the middlemen, without the snooping and the ad-driven incentives, without the drive to capture eyeballs and scrape and sell off data, retention at all costs, the wall off, the moat out, because they can't anymore.
It's over.
We can design these things out at a protocol level and design in autonomy and consent and privacy into the very surface on which we'll rebuild it all. Quick sidebar here. You might be thinking, what even is a protocol? Or what's the difference between a platform and a protocol? I've got an explainer on that. I will link to it. Back to the video. So let me take a moment to explain how autonomous networks like Autonomi accomplish this. And you can see how the future actually comes together. And it starts with your data being encrypted before it even leaves your device. Self-encrypting data means that as your information travels across the network, it remains completely private to you.
Invisible ink.
In fact, it only ever becomes information when it reaches your device. When this encrypted data isn't stored on someone else's servers, I don't need permission to go and ask for it back. Instead, it's distributed across a giant decentralized network.
Over our heads in a million pieces.
A massive cyber brain that we all create and support together using our spare computer resources. One giant server we all get a slice of. So when you upload data, it becomes permanent and deduplicated across the network, and it's given a unique address. It's always there for you to access because the network itself is supported and formed from millions of nodes, all scattered across the globe, all communicating and working together autonomously without anyone in the middle orchestrating it. Public data becomes accessible to anyone, anywhere, because on the network, all data is treated equally. And it's the same for private data too. There's no priority lanes, no most favored nations, no need to cut special deals. All is equal. And this means you're free to view your data through any software lens that you choose.
Camera 1, camera 2.
You don't like how one app handles your photos? Fine, just switch to another. Want to try different social media interface? Sure, go for it. Your social graph, your posts, your conversations and groups, they all come with you. Perhaps most importantly, this approach makes interoperability the default. Your data doesn't get locked in a proprietary silo. You can mix and match services, you can customize your experience, and you can switch providers without losing your digital life. Competition happens over who can provide the best interface, the best features, the best experience, not who can trap you the most efficiently. And what's more, the entry to that competition now has the lowest of bars because the moats of old are gone, and all developers have access to the same global infrastructure, a level playing field. No huge capital requirements, no need to worry about handling personal data anymore, or CDNs or geographic constraints.
Look out for the little guy.
And in a time where the very nature of what apps and what software even is changing completely, when software can be bespoke and created on the fly in the moment and morphed and manipulated and hyper-customized, what matters is the input, your ideas and your needs and your intent and context, and the output, the connections, the communications, the goals being met, the data. You should be in charge and own these inputs and outputs, no one else. And the infrastructure that it all stands upon, that must belong to us all. That is the power of an autonomous network delivered by a new set of protocols for the web. The post-platform economy is coming, and it's going to be owned by all of us.